Hi, and welcome back to another What I Like in Home Decor Right Now video. I feel like I used to do these a few times a year, but this year I've been working on more interior design projects. If you don't know this, I have my own interior design firm now called Was Studios. And when you're working on interior design projects, you are discovering a lot more things that you like in interiors or are doing within the projects or whatever it is. I'm just more immersed in the design world. So I know I made one of these videos maybe 3 months ago, but I already have a new list of stuff that I like in interior design right now. So anytime when those numbers hit like above, 10 to 15 items, I'm like, all right, and now I will talk about it. And now I will sit down and talk to myself about what I like right now. But I will say I do really like this list. This is a very unique list, and a lot of the things are approachable that you can do yourself, but also some of these are just fun things that if you have the budget, you could do it, basically. All right, so here it is. What's the month? Is it October 1st? No, it's September 30th. Everything I like in home decor right now. October, I guess, when this goes out. 2025. The first item I'm very into, and if I owned my home, I would 100% do this, but because I rent, I guess you could, no, you should only do this if you're a homeowner. But wall mirrors. And I'm not talking about like the Hovet mirror from IKEA, which is great. That's actually a good alternative if you're a renter. I'm talking about full-on wall mirrors, whether it's from floor to ceiling, large rectangles or small squares that are kind of pieced together. There's a few different shapes that you can do to cover up a wall in your home, especially down a hallway or an entry wall. I feel like those are fun areas to implement a wall mirror. And what I've learned through my interior design projects is that they're not that expensive. You can go to a local glass shop, or you just got to do a little Googling. And because it's just your general wall mirror, which you see in like gyms and shit like that, it's really not that pricey. I think where you might spend a little more money is the install, but I love how this looks. I think it's also a really good way to open up a room. That's why I love it in a hallway. It makes it feel so much bigger. And if you have, even just like one little wall that you could do this on, I guess you could do this renter friendly if you bought maybe some mirrors off of, I don't know, Amazon. I don't want to recommend that, but and then using like sticky tape, some sort of thing. I don't know. I guess you could do this as a renter. Kind of a fun idea. Another thing that I'm interested in interior design, and this kind of goes more into the architecture realm, which I also want to make a video on. I feel like I should do a video on like what I love in architecture. The thing with doing a video on architecture is that a lot of it won't be relatable, but we can also just look at cool things. But something I'm really loving in architecture, I guess, and decor, or I don't know, is encased windows. I think encasing your windows, whether it's bookshelves or just wood or any type of material that kind of encases a window, I think can really help elevate a space, especially if you live in like kind of a cookie cutter home or there's not a lot of interest and you're looking to, build out your kitchen or you're looking to invest a little money on a renovation. I think it's really fun when the architecture kind of builds around a window or builds around a door. It's just a unique way to implement some interest if you're doing a renovation. It's not that expensive, if you're designing your kitchen and your cabinets, come up to each side of the window, why not have it kind of encase it, if that makes sense. So encased windows, if that's the right terminology, I'm into that. Another area that I've really thrown myself into with these interior design projects is window treatments. I'm learning a lot about window treatments, and I think it's such a fun area to do something a little more bold. For example, if you have one single window in your kitchen above your sink or in your laundry room or whatever, I think patterned Roman shades, I talk about those in a lot of videos. I feel like I'm always like, add a shade, add a Roman shade. But what I'm specifically into is unique window treatments, patterned, Roman shades. So if you have a room where you can, maybe make one single one out of some vintage fabric, I think why not have a fun window treatment? Also, when your home doesn't come with, like an old Spanish window, the window doesn't need to be the focal point when it's, it's like builder grade. So you can throw a shade on it and have it go like a little above the window so it makes it look a little taller. And I just think that's a design element that's skipped over a lot because they're kind of hard to find. If you Google Roman shades or like fun pattern Roman shades, there's really not a lot of options. So making your own is kind of the only step. I think Etsy has some good ones. They also are kind of expensive unless you get the bamboo kind. If you're getting a patterned or like fabric Roman shade, it's already pricey. So just find someone local in your area to make you one. It's custom to your window, most likely around the same price, to be honest. I don't know why like CB2 or West Elm or like companies like that haven't come out with more like fun window treatments. This next thing I like in interior design is quite interesting. I actually took this from Kate. She recently put a red light bulb in her bathroom. We are both big bath takers. It's not in the main light that she uses on the daily, like above her vanity. It's this like weird space age sconce that she got that she threw in her bathroom, and it has a red light. So when she takes a bath, she can, turn off the lights and just have like a red one. I don't know. Let me know in the comments, like, does red light ever do anything for your psyche? I don't know. Is there another color that would be fun to use? But I am into a red light bulb in certain instances. I don't think it should be like in a main light, but I do think it's fun to get like a little sconce and have, it could even be orange, for the sun. But yeah, a red light bulb. This is one of my favorite things I've recently discovered working on, again, these interior design projects. You really start to understand how much things cost, especially when you're renovating a kitchen or a bathroom where you might need tile for backsplash or flooring or within the shower, whatever it is. Something I've learned is that tile can be so expensive, especially if you want something unique or special, that's not just from Home Depot or whatever. So when you're on a budget, getting like the Zia tile isn't always an option. But if you get creative with it, you can take general tile and create your own patterns. So instead of investing all this money into like this like unique tile that's being shipped in from wherever, you could also just get general tile, from Home Depot, or maybe invest a little more so you have some unique colors. And then you can make certain patterns within the shower or on the floor or on the backsplash. You can enter, a little like striped line. Creating your own tile patterns just feels like one of the most simple ways to add some interest to a space. Do you know who does a good job at this actually? Is Paloma Alcacer. In her kitchen, if you look at the range, the stove hood, it's just a general stripe pattern. Those tiles are pretty standard. I'm sure they got those like custom color made, but that pattern is just the handiwork of a tile installer, and probably saved them, a buck, even though I'm sure they had budget. But for us folks, when we don't have budget, that's such an easy way to just add some interest without spending a ton on tile. I'm also really into glass shelves right now. I have a little glass shelf in my bathroom, and it's funny looking back on my like move-in video, there were some like certain elements I talked about getting rid of in this place. And I think it was the glass shelf and like some of the knobs. And while I agree with most of the things I said I wanted to get rid of, and I actually ended up not really doing that because I rent, but one of the things I do disagree with is my idea of getting rid of this glass shelf. I'm actually really into glass shelves right now. I do think they make the most sense in a bathroom or a kitchen or somewhere where you're going to display, you know, some simple objects. I do really love it in a bathroom though. For some reason, a glass shelf just feels so bathroomy, and probably maybe it was from like the 80s. Is that when like glass block was coming in? I feel like they don't make as much sense in a kitchen unless you're displaying some like glassware or dishware. I wouldn't necessarily want to like put food on a glass shelf, I think. But yeah, I guess they could really go anywhere. Little mini like Art Deco ones are pretty fun. And I also like when the glass is tinted, kind of like it has like a bluey green tint, which I think a lot of glass actually just comes like that in general. I like that. I like that. Hey, welcome to my kitchen. We are here to take a little break to talk about today's sponsor, Ritual. This is their essential protein 18 plus daily shake. I personally like the vanilla flavor. This is a plant-based clean protein powder, which is really helpful for muscle recovery. This essential protein is soy-free, gluten-free, vegan-friendly, and it's formulated without GMOs. It is actually the only protein powder that is sweetened from fermented sugarcane and monk fruit. I feel like I was always kind of scared of protein powder. It felt like something athletes drink before big games or something like that. But all of Ritual's ingredients are traceable, so you know exactly what you're putting in your body. I personally like to add protein powder, at least in the morning, to whatever it is I'm drinking because it just helps me stay full longer. I'm allergic to eggs and I can't have coffee, so adding this in is extremely helpful, specifically for my mornings. Head to the link down below or use my code PaigeWassel25 for 25% off your first order. If you are anything like me and love a little plant-based protein, I definitely highly recommend Ritual. So thanks Ritual for sponsoring this video. Now back to whatever I was talking about, and I'm taking this with me to finish my work. Another thing in design that I'm into right now is colored toilets and bathtubs. At our office in Echo Park, our office/vintage store called Office Supplies, we replaced the toilet in the sink with a blue toilet and a blue sink because why not? This is our office. We can have fun with a blue toilet and sink. And they do work somehow. And they work pretty good, weirdly. And there is a wood toilet seat, which is fun. But anyways, I really like colored tubs, sinks, anything in your bathroom. I think you should definitely keep them if you have them. If you move into a place, keep the blue sinks, but then upgrade the rest of the bathroom and kind of design it around that. I don't even think that it's just for kids. Like having a colorful toilet or sink or whatever in your house is just fun in general. So if you like color and your house comes with this stuff, don't get rid of it, just design around it. And you also could just buy it too, like we did for the office, which people are like, whoa, your place came with this stuff? And it's like, well, no, actually we got it. And then some people are like, are you going to replace this outdated toilet and sink? And I'm like, we actually bought that. So thank you so much. A painted staircase is interesting to me. Sometimes wood is just not salvageable or you don't have the budget to like redo the wood. And so sometimes I think painting a staircase is fun. You can do a fun color. You could keep it pretty neutral. I just think if you don't have budget or you just like this design direction, why not paint your staircase? Obviously, it really depends on the home and if it fits the vibe, if it fits your vibe. But if you can make it work, I think this is a fun, unique idea. And I've just recently come across some painted staircases on Pinterest, and that's why I brought this up. So we're not actually doing a painted staircase in any of our design projects, but maybe I will. This might be one of my favorite things in interior design right now, because I'm moving next year. I don't know where I'm moving yet, but I have to move next year, and I want to do this in the place I move, in one of the rooms. Purchasing a unique carpet and then binding it in a color. You would be surprised how inexpensive some of the like older types of carpets are. Obviously, you want to make sure it's like a good material. You don't want like a plasticky carpet, but you can buy carpet from your local carpet place, and a lot of times they'll have stuff in stock that's even cheaper because it's like already in the back warehouse. They come and they measure your room, and then you can get like a custom fit rug, but it's carpet. And I really like this in kids' rooms. I really like this in bedrooms specifically, or guest rooms. I like it in like a bedroom setting. I think that's really fun to have like a carpeted feel without actually installing carpet. And I think a unique binding, I think that's what it's called, like binding, adds just a fun touch. So just Google like local carpet place. If you live in Los Angeles, I just discovered this place. It's called Leicester Carpets, and they have all of these like old carpets that are used in, film production out here. And I used to go a lot to Linoleum City, which also has old carpets and linoleum. And yeah, they'll cut it for you. It's not expensive. If you have seen any of my photo shoots, we use a lot of carpets that we got from there. We didn't get them bound because they're just for a photo shoot, but I think were all from Linoleum City. Leicester Carpets has even more, and we just discovered them. So carpet, binding it, not actually installing it, feels like a better use of it in a way, because I feel like fully installed carpet, which I do like also in certain instances, but it's just more risky with it being gross. So I've been really itching to do this project. I've actually been itching to do a lot of interior design projects, but I'm kind of holding off because I am moving. I'm like, I don't want to, do something that I'm going to have to reverse in 3 months. And this specifically is painting inside of a cabinet. I really want to paint inside of my medicine cabinet that's in my bathroom, obviously. I just think that's such a fun way to add in a weird pop of color, or like your linen closet, or any type of cabinet that you can add a color inside of. I just think it looks cool. I know a lot of people do it like inside their like hidden bar cabinets or whatever it is. I just want to paint inside of a cabinet, and I can't until I move. So if you see any cool places that open up in Los Angeles, I'm looking for a 2-bedroom. I don't technically need a garage anymore because I have my office. So yeah, if you know of anything or want to help me, let me know. I'm also really into space age glass fixtures, or just like glass saucery light fixtures right now. I feel as though some of the projects I've been working on, I have been gravitating towards this type of light fixture, depending on the client. Like sometimes, they want something super unique, but sometimes it's like they want it unique, but it needs to be lasting. I just think these are cool. I just think they're cool. They're simple. I guess I'm really into glass right now. I guess I like glass, and I guess I like mirrors. We also just installed one in the bathroom at the office vintage store, and it has like a little red piece in the middle. I need to do an office update soon. PSA for anyone looking for flooring for your kitchen, mainly your kitchen, I guess bathroom too. I think Slate is such a good option. I think Slate is overlooked. Slate is one of the most affordable tile options, and they can get cut into sizes. You can get large sizes, you can get squares, you can get rectangles, whatever it may be. They're almost guaranteed to be any like local like tile place, maybe Home Depot and Lowe's and stuff, but like I'm pretty sure if you go to like a local spot, like a stone spot. Recently, I bought some from Stoneland or Southland Stoned in LA. They're two places. But anyways, yeah, slate tile. Really into slate, and yeah, just the affordability is so nice, and it's pretty lasting. It's pretty timeless. And I like just like the black gray kind, but there's also like green tinted slate. You can get blue tinted. So don't sleep on slates. Oh, my mic. Don't sleep on slates. Hashtag. Let's end on the last item on my list of what I'm into right now, fall 2025. And that's game tables. I like game tables. I don't know about you, but I like to puzzle, and I like to play sequence. I like to play Scrabble. Those are kind of like the main guys. Sometimes we'll play like Bananagrams. It's a good game though. I don't want to like play Catan. I don't want to play anything that's like that intense. I like Word. Oh, we like Rummy Cube. I guess we like words and numbers and like trivia stuff. But anyways, I really like a game table. I really want to get my parents, my family at the lake house. We have like a fold out table we use every Christmas to do our puzzle. And I really want to get like some type of game table that is kind of permanent. So yeah, I'm into game tables. Can I have a game table here? No, I can't. But I like an old table, and I like when there's like 4 chairs that are really comfy. Maybe they're on wheels. But I like a game table in, outside of your basement, basically, is what I'm saying. Like, you could have a game table as like your entry table if you wanted, and then you disguise it as an entry, but then like it turns into a game table. I like a game table. If you have that space, put in a game table. I think if you have like a big hallway, or like, how sometimes there's like, you go upstairs at like a suburban home and there's like a big random like area, like throw in like a little table. Throw in a little game table. Let me know any other games we should check out that I don't have to spend hours learning the rules. Like, I don't like Catan. I'm sorry. I think that's it for this roundup of things I like. The hate videos always do better, but we can't give into that algorithm. We can't. Not all the time. But sometimes I do hate stuff, so I will post when I have more hatred. But right now, I'm finding a lot of stuff I love. My Pinterest algorithm has never been better. And yeah, I'm just really into interior design right now, per usual. I'm just working on some bigger projects, and they've been so fun. All right, that's it. Launching more pillows. I think the first Sunday of December 7th, I'm doing a big pillow launch, and these ones are going to be so good. I'm very excited. This year has been a little slower for Was because of these design projects, and I'm hoping to ramp it up a little more next year. But yeah, mark your cals, December 7th. There's a chance it could be November 30th. We don't know, but really good pillows to come. And there are some that, here, I'll give you a little sneak peek. This one, there's not a lot of, and this is the best. Well, this whole round I'm really loving, but this one I'm like, how did I find this vintage fabric? Only a select amount of you are going to be able to snag this guy. But anywho, that's it. I need to go run errands. I'm leaving for New York tomorrow, actually, and I need to run errands. I actually have to go to my manufacturer today because we do custom piping, like on some of the pillows. Not all of the pillows get piping, but I have to bring her 2,000 yards of piping insert. So I gotta go do that, and some other things. So, goodbye. Love you. I keep doing this now. Wait, what's the little, this. Right? Where you go like, little heart, love you.